On Saturday morning in Minneapolis, immigration officers fatally shot a US citizen, 37-year-old intensive care nurse Alex Pretti. Now, many videos like this one have been circulating on social media, and after CBC News verified those videos, they don't appear to match the claims made by Homeland Security that Pretti approached the officers with a firearm. Leading up to the shooting, this video was taken before multiple officers pinned down Pretti. Footage shows Pretti standing facing one officer. We then see another officer get out of an unmarked car. The camera drives by Pretti and we see an officer push him, where we get a clear shot of Pretti holding a cell phone in his right hand. Clearly not a gun. In these next few videos, more people approach federal immigration officers around the same unmarked car, blowing whistles. We then see Pretti's hand here, holding a cell phone, filming the interaction. Fast forward a few seconds, Pretti is seen here filming the officer and waving a car through. In these two angles, we see what happens next. Officers approach and push the person wearing a brown coat. Then they push a person with the orange backpack. Then they spray Pretti with a chemical agent. He holds his left hand up and continues to hold his cell phone with his right hand. This is contrary to Homeland Security's claims that an individual approached US patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Now we add two more angles. We see Pretti help the person with an orange backpack. Then one of the officers pulls Pretti back onto his knee, then onto the ground. Another officer striking Pretti's head. When we zoom in, we see that's a metal can. And while this is happening, the officer in this gray jacket and blue jeans pulls up Pretti's shirt. You see him grab onto his belt. The officer then turns around and backs away with a firearm in his right hand. We slow down the video and we see that a weapon, which appears to be a gun, is pulled from Pretti's belt, a second before gunfire. Then 10 shots are heard. Based on the gunshot sounds, the officer fires the first shot. Then from this angle, it appears another officer behind him also shoots. One video also shows another officer clap as shots ring out. Pretti lies there, motionless as all the officers step back. No one approached Pretti for 24 seconds. Later videos show officers approaching Pretti's body searching for something. When you hear an officer say, "Where is the gun?" In a response to CNN from the DHS about the gun being removed before the shooting, DHS repeated their statement, saying the officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted.
Daniel Bruner is a retired FBI agent with experience in crisis and policing situations. I know you've looked closely at the videos taken by bystanders. And so from the perspective of police use of deadly force, what do the videos tell you?
Shows me one clear thing. There's a lack of discipline, a lack of training, and lack of preparation by these agents in Customs Border Patrol. We are extensively trained in federal law enforcement, from the FBI to DEA, ATF, and obviously CBP and ICE. We receive extensive training, and we work together as a unit, as a group of FBI agents. And we are told, and we're put through scenarios, different situations, in what to do and what not to do. And there's a lot of what not to do in this situation. From the engaging of the individual, of Mr. Pretti, and pushing him back is completely fine. That's completely acceptable. Pushing the perimeter back, but at which point the agent who initially fires the pepper spray, which is also completely fine and good, he continues to engage Mr. Pretti for whatever reason. He continues to engage and pull his neck off and pull his jacket and put him down on the ground. At which point Mr. Pretti's gun is exposed. An agent with a gray jacket comes in, removes the weapon from the small of his back. At no time does it appear Mr. Pretti attempts to get the weapon, and no time does it appear that he is struggling to get somebody else's weapon. But at some point, the officer, the agent in the green shirt, decides to pull his gun. And that's another thing that we don't do in federal law enforcement. If you're engaging with hands-on, attempting to handcuff somebody, you do not pull your gun out because of what we call sympathetic discharge. When you're squeezing your hand, maybe around the handcuff or maybe around the individual, your other hand may conduct a sympathetic squeeze as well. And if you're holding a firearm, you fire off a round. So you never pull your gun while you are actively engaging somebody on the ground. And then we believe, you could see from the video, that's the first shot, and then continues, and then chaos ensues with the next 9 shots.
Do you see anything in these videos that would justify lethal use of force?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Based on the videos that I'm seeing, and the administration has already clearly misled us, in numerous press conferences, starting from minutes after the incident, where they said that Mr. Pretti had brandished his weapon when he was approaching the agents, and that clearly was a lie. He was holding a cell phone. To today, in the Sunday morning talk shows here in the United States, they're talking about different things, that he's a domestic terrorist, that he was there to conduct mass executions and mass murder. They don't know that. They don't know any of these. To make these statements is clearly trying to steer the needle in one direction. An investigation has to be conducted, but based on what I'm seeing, based on the videos that I'm seeing, based on everything that is being presented, all the civilian cell phones, everything, no, there is no justification. There needs to be, to fire a weapon, there needs to be a reason, a deadly force reason where the agent has to fire. And looking at, they see the individual has poses threat of harm or bodily injury to oneself or others present, they can fire. Not only the person who fired the first shot, but every other agent who fired a shot too has to be able to say, I saw a threat. You cannot fire because an agent next to you started firing. You cannot do that. That's against regulations. That's against the rules. And then you'll be breaking all the training. That's why I think this all comes down to lack of training, lack of discipline, and complete unpreparedness.
Daniel Bruner, appreciate having your perspective as a former FBI officer. Thank you.
My pleasure.